Be with you in a second, folks. God, this takes way longer than it should, shouldn't it? Done. Right. Crack on. For God's sake. Thank you. Flipping heck. Right. Another day, another drawing. Right. Need to turn the light up, that might be. Let's draw some business. Nope, don't want to use that one today. I'm going to use 0.8. I had a week off, it was half term. Let's draw some stuff. Excuse me. Oh, God. Oh, dead hand, evening. As I'm sneezing my balls off. You have a good weekend? Have a good week? Oh, I did absolutely dick all this weekend. I hope you're all good. Oh, God. Oh, my word. Yeah, there was a piece I did in a... Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Any particular reason, or is it just one of those things where it's just catching up with you? I get like that sometimes with mine, where like the back end of this week's been a bit like that, where I've just no energy. Oh, you motherfucker. Hey Coob, how's it going, man? God's sake. Sorry, mate, you have to listen to me slurping. I left my beverage in the freezer for too long and it's popped the can up. It's all good though. But no, I hope you're alright, Dead Hand. Hope it's nothing too bad, and you know, I'm sure. I hope you can. I'm sure you can. You'll get past it, mate. Obviously, not everyone's mental health problems are the same, but I know the whole feeling of, you know, when there's just a week or a few days that it just defeats you. Like you can't explain it. It just gets you. What do you think that'll do for the YouTube algorithm? Listen to ASMR. Man slurps pop. But anyhow, apart from that, I hope relatively it's been not a bad weekend. Yeah, it's a fucker. I think I remember saying before when I first found out that I had something wrong, it was when I worked at a call centre. And they said that, yeah, we get a lot of people from your place of work come here. I'm like, that does not surprise me in the slightest. One thing that's making it harder, though, is there are a lot of people out there, a lot of fakers who kind of wear it almost as a badge of honour. And stick their lives out on YouTube. It kind of annoys me, to put it mildly. Oh, go on, yeah, do tell us what it is. God, I remember at college and uni, browser games were all the rage. Infinite craft. You basically just come. Sounds alright actually, sounds like my kind of time waster. I've played some time wasting games before. I don't know if you'd call it a time wasting game if you're learning words and combos and stuff, but like after a few sort of days, like I went down the Candy Crush, and I think Candy Crush lasted a week or two, and I just thought I don't. What's the point? Like I'm bored now. Right. Shut up. No, those games don't scratch that particular itch in my brain. But that one could, maybe. Word combo stuff. Yeah, I feel a bit rusty, so I'm keeping it simple today. When I get to 50 of these, I might look to see what it'll be, what it would cost to turn these into a book. Because if I do one a week, I'm still 8 weeks away from that. So still a bit of time. Shrimp scam. Yeah, word games, like there's that one on Google Plays at Word Cookie. There's a few of those types, you know, you've got like a circle of letters and you have to pick words out of it. I don't mind that, but some of the words, I'm like, I've never heard this word, like a 4-letter word. Because like when I run out of, like when I can't figure out any more from the Word Cookie, I'll just start randomly hacking at it. But then, like, if you use a hint and it'll say, oh, there's this word. I'm like, that's not a fucking word. Never heard that in my life. But, yeah, we're currently going through the motions to confirm that my daughter is dyslexic. I don't think it's been like said to us in writing yet, but like all the things are there where when she writes numbers down, is numbers dyspraxic? Is that the numbers one? But I think dyslexic is when you write stuff down, like, you know, say a letter like, oh, I don't know, E. When you write a small E, you do it backwards, or a 5 is the one with the daughter, she'll do it backwards. Like she'll get the maths question correct, but she'll write down the number 5 backwards. I've had a little bump in YouTube subs recently. I think about maybe 10 in the last few weeks, which is a lot for me. Up to 279, so we're well past halfway now to earning. But yeah, it's one of the reasons I wasn't on Friday. Like Monday, I genuinely just the day gets away from it. It's when your kids are at home from half term, stuff changes. But Friday, I genuinely just was not. I'm like, nah, I can't. I just couldn't do it. I'm like, no, I'll have today off. Just one of those days. It's half term. I gave myself, it's half term. It'll be fine. I'll start again next week. But even today, I've just felt knackered and just ugh. But yeah, we're getting there. Oh, for God's sake. What is wrong with this stream, honestly? Yeah, it's getting there. Like I said to myself early on, don't treat YouTube as like your main source of income, as a lot of people do, because you could be here forever. But just as a sort of way to kind of showcase your work, and if you do eventually get some money from it, but just as a little bit of pocket money or something. But to have it as like a main way to make dinero, nah. I actually had I saw a thing today. It said to make $100 from YouTube views, it's 25,000 views. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not really getting that anytime soon, am I? That's $100. And I always say, like, to make a reasonable kind of earner, you need maybe, say, in my position, £500. So we'll just call it $500 a month. So you need 100,000 a month. Dun, 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 bim, 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 bim. I've made more. I think I've made £4 on TikTok. No, not that much yet. Don't get ahead of yourself. Not £3. What have I made on TikTok? £3.57. Well, that's what I currently have. I think I've made about £3.80 because I've spent some of that on gifts to people and all that kind of thing. Yeah. Snack time. Yeah, get on it, dead hand. I'm sure you can conjure up about 100,000 emails to sort me out. Yeah, I just ate before I came on as well. Nothing flashy. Just a good old... I had a bacon, sausage and egg sarnie. And a pot noodle. Because that's the kind of day I'm having. And anyway, I busted my ass making a beautiful cottage pie yesterday, so I'm like, right, I'm not cooking major today. Can't be asked for that. Yeah. Right. The sea salt wafer chocolate balls sound really good. Licorice can get in the sea. But I think it doesn't matter what licorice is the kind of thing that it doesn't matter what you do to it. It's licorice is just something you like or you don't. But yeah, licorice just is not for me. I am not a fan. Benny, how's it going? Good to see you, my friend. That's what you got though, innit? Yeah, the cottage pie. My dad makes a spicy version of a cottage pie, and it's my favourite meal in the entire universe. It's so good. But I've not had one in years because I don't live with my father anymore. And the medication he's on, bless him, it messes with his appetite, so he doesn't cook that sort of stuff anymore. salty licorice here called Zungelv. Means jungle jungle scream. What a name! I found a photo because I remember we spoke about this a few streams ago, and I found it on my Facebook. Where is it? I always forget the name of it, but it was this chocolate when I went and saw my dad in Norway. I don't know if this brand extends to Sweden. I'll just have a quick browse to see if it's there. It was about 2009, 2010, around there, when I went to Stavanger. Would have been before all this. God, I had a load of pictures from when I went to Norway. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Toffris. Oh yeah, there. That's the chocolate I had. I don't know what that says, but yeah, I don't know if you get that in Sweden. But that's my one experience of Scandinavian chocolate, and it was beautiful. It was really good. No, it must be. Like, I don't know if like across the Scandinavian countries, like food brands, what's the word I'm looking for? Like if they appear in each other's shops. Like, for example, in the UK, we've got Aldi and Aldi and Lidl, two German branded shops, which is great because I lived in Germany for 5 years as a kid. So there was a few brands that I kind of remember that I see. I'm like, oh, that's wicked. So I don't know if they had like, if it was the same kind of deal in Scandinavia where you might get some like Danish, Norwegian or Finnish brands in Sweden and vice versa kind of thing. Like here, like Iron Brew in England, for example. But yes, it was very, very good chocolate. Better than the American stuff, anyway. Yeah. The thing is, I don't know like how similar Scandinavian languages are. Like I'm not, but I don't know any sort of. I don't even know any words in Norwegian. Like I didn't learn the language because I was only going there for like a week or something. But yeah, I don't know how close the languages are. Like I suppose would it be like German and Dutch? Like they're completely different languages, but I don't know how similar they are. Austrian as well, I guess. Like I don't know how similar like Swedish, Norwegian, Danish is. I've seen videos on YouTube. There's this one guy who, I can't remember his name, he speaks like perfect Mandarin. He's like this white American guy, and he speaks, I don't think it's just Mandarin, there's a couple of sort of Asian dialects he speaks, but it's perfect. So he'll go into like a Chinese restaurant, I don't mean like a Chinese table, like a proper Chinese restaurant, and he'll order everything in Mandarin, and like all the customers and the staff like, what the fuck? I've seen there's this other guy on TikTok who says he speaks 27 or 28 languages or something like that. Flipping crazy. I would like to speak another language. The one I would pick is German. That's the one I'd learn. Because I can remember some words when I was at school. I'd learn Welsh, but I don't think there'd be much utility in it. It'd just be for my own amusement. Because again, I had to learn that when I was at school. I moved to Wales after I moved to Germany, and that was funny. Because it's such an old language, they've got some of the words they don't have, like in Welsh. So like when you watch like Welsh dramas or soaps or whatever, there'll be like an English word dotted in the middle of it, and it's quite funny. There was took me a decade to get off those subtitles finished. I don't think I'm up. Yeah, English is English like the most common second language for people? Like, is it I think Mandarin's the most common language in the world, isn't it? And English is what, second or third or around there. But so many people like second language is English. But I was speaking to because there's a few like Polish and Eastern European families who go to the same school, and my daughter's friends with one of, and I'm good friends with her dad, and he's Latvian, I believe. No, that sounds right. Is he Latvian? Yeah, he is. He's Latvian, but he speaks Russian. And I went round to his house and like for the kids playing and stuff, and I saw like the Russian alphabet on his fridge, and obviously I didn't understand it, but I obviously didn't. They didn't look like as many letters and stuff. And I said, "Is it harder to learn Russian or English?" And he said, "Oh no, English is easy compared to other languages because." What did he say specifically? He said there was a reason English was easier. Because I think it was because there's like individual words for everything, whereas like Russian, it's like variations of the same word to mean different things, and it can get confusing. But that's just what he said. Like like his first language is Russian, so it was like, I don't know, it could be completely different for other people. It's most spoken global. That's it. Yeah, it's like the biggest spread. Yeah. Just right, such as that's cool. See, do you know what? That's one of the reasons I'd like to go and learn German, because there's a couple of TikTok accounts I follow, and it's German words, and like what they'll do, like if they'll kind of have whole descriptions of things as one word. Like the most famous is it Schadenfreude, where it's like a slip up, like if you see someone slipping on a banana skin or whatever, or someone making a tit of themselves. It's called Schadenfreude. And German has got lots of things like that, whereas there's no word in English for making a twat out of yourself. You have to describe it. And I really like that they've got loads of words for it. In fact, I'm finding it now. I know I'm supposed to be drawing, but who gives a shit? Because I just think it's brilliant. It's one of my favourite things in the whole world. And there was one that I just couldn't help but laugh at. I've saved it to my favourites, but I've got so many saved in my favourites now, it's even going to be a chore. Oh, I've got to find it. It made me laugh because I thought this is just me, innit? Yeah, German words and their beautiful meaning. the descriptions as well. Is it Geschicht Elfmeter, when someone looks like they've taken a penalty right in the face? But there was what it was called. Oh, what was it called? This one. Terrorwichtel, terror dwarf, a small person with serious anger issues. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like me. I just thought it was brilliant. I couldn't help but laugh at that. English has 1.45 billion speakers. Still not enough to match the population of China, though, is it? Oh, I don't know what the population of China is. Is it? I know India and China have both got 1 billion plus, haven't they? I don't know who has that. I always thought it was China, but I think India might have the most now. There's a great bit that about India by an Australian comedian called Steve Hughes. And he talks about when he visited Mumbai. And he was talking about, like, density of people. He says, nah, you've not experienced population density until you've been to Mumbai, where you can stick health and regulate. It was mainly about health and regulations and stuff. Health and safety regulations. It was funny. But yeah, German's the one because I started learning it at school, and I actually quite like learning German. And it just seems like a fun language to learn. Like, I just love that aspect about it, where they have like full descriptions, full sentences, kind of put down into a word. Yeah, I thought India would have more now. I remember at school, I think people were saying, like, I remember China was the only country that I knew of that had 1 billion, but I thought recently India's probably past it now. Yeah, no worries, Coob. You go and crack on, my friend. Thank you for popping in as always, and hopefully I'll see you back here in a bit. 1.4. Yeah. It's mad, that, isn't it? Because I know China, I don't know if they have it anymore. Like, it's only like snippets of news and stuff that you see, but I know China had the one child rule. Was that back in the 70s or 80s they did that? But then did they stop it? I don't know. Yeah, 1.4 billion. I was I was telling my son the difference between 1 million and 1 billion the other day. And I said, like, if you put it down in seconds, 1 million seconds is 31 minutes? No, 31 minutes, you twat. 31 hours. Was it 31 hours? And then 1 billion seconds was 31 years. And then I said the difference between that and 1 trillion seconds, I think 1 trillion seconds is 31,000 years, I think. So it messes with your head when you think how big a number that is. There is my base for this totem. China has already started shrinking, lost 800,000 last year. Spanish, yes, of course. You forget how far spread Spain is, because it's not just Spain, it's like Mexico, a lot of Americans speak it. Yeah, Spanish is a very, very large amount of speakers. Like, I'm always afraid of sounding stupid when I ask this, but I know not every country, or I don't know if every country has their own language. Like, Brazil speak Portuguese mostly, don't they? But I don't know if Brazil has its own language. Like, does Mexico have its own language? Because they, like, is there a difference between, say, because they speak Spanish in Mexico, but is it like a different dialect and all that kind of stuff? Like, I just don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, Spanish was one of those, like, a lot of schools in England used to teach Spanish, but it was always French when I was at school. And because I got like a grudge against it because I wanted to learn German because I kind of had a head start with it. Because I learned it at primary school. And then they said, no, because you're not very good at French, you can't learn German. So I just went, no, box you then. I can't be asked. Me being a stubborn little twat. I just went, nope, I'm not learning French. Can't be bothered. So I kind of resented French class. And I hated one of my French teachers as well. They were a dick. So I resented French. Not to be confused with resenting the French. Both. It is both. So they do speak Portuguese and they have their own language. I always did wonder that. It's just when you hear some countries where their main language isn't the language that is of their country of origin. Or the country that they're in. But I don't know. It's just something you have to read up, isn't it? Google is your friend, as they say. Google is your friend. Yeah, history's not my strong suit. It's one of those things, I'm interested in it, but yeah, my knowledge on history is not great. British Empire took the rest. Yeah, we were bastards back in the day, weren't we? I will say, though, the most brutal sounding from my own knowledge is, what was Genghis Khan's one? Was that the Mongolian Empire? Where it was like he took out like a noticeable percentage of the world population. And I can't say the R word on YouTube, but his exploits, shall we say. There's that old joke, like, you know, you're probably related to Genghis Khan, because we gave it all back. Yeah, tell that to museums. LOL. We just borrowed it. But yeah, when we get to 50 of these things, I'll look into steps to seeing if I could make this into a book. That was one, yeah. No, we used two. But they weren't that happy. I'm sure they'll get over it. Belgian colonial alpine, I don't think I've heard of them. Really? I might have to brush up on my historical armies, I guess. Jesus. Yeah, I thought the Mongols were all messed up like Jesus. In a similar vein to you, Dead Hand, I managed to down, in an hour lunch break at college, I managed to down 12 slices of pizza at the all-you-can-eat buffet at Pizza Hut. That's my biggest conquer. I was listening to a podcast, and it was with a guy called Chris Williamson. He does a podcast called Modern Wisdom, and he was chatting about the lows that people sink to, like specifically like in the middle of war. Like they think, well, it's war, so we can do anything that we want. And the excuses people give themselves, it's not that they like were evil to begin with and they had like a lust for hurting people. It was just when they start seeing people as other or dehumanizing them. It's because just to see that they can get away with it, it's crazy. It's just so mad how fast people kind of lower themselves. But if they convince themselves that it's for good, then it's like a free pass. It's like, well, it's for good, so I'm now allowed to torture this person. It's gross. Canada the underdog. So I was just seeing who that message was from. Currently watching Tron Legacy. I think it's alright. I think it's actually alright. A couple of questionable CGI bits, but I think it's enjoyable. The soundtrack's amazing. But it is Daft Punk, so would expect nothing less. But I enjoyed it. Like I said, I don't think it's amazing, but I did enjoy it. I did like it. Like I said, there's a couple of... It was like one of the earlier, from what I saw, one of the earlier attempts at de-aging people, and they did it with Jeff Bridges. And I'll say it's a valiant effort. I'll say that. Not quite there, but A for effort, I would say. But overall, I liked it. I thought it was good fun. Yeah, it's one of those, just rainy day film. You just chuck it on. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm currently watching a TV show called Person of Interest, and I'm flipping loving it. Like it's the first TV show in ages where I've stayed up like to ludicrous hours in the morning watching, which is stupid. But I really, really like it. It's really good. Oh, yeah. What films have you guys watched that you were expecting quite a bit from but just didn't deliver? That's a good question, I think. You thought, yeah, this film's going to be the bomb, the tits, the nuts, but it wasn't. Oh, the new one. Yeah, I'm not sure about it. The one with the guy. Yes. Unless you're thinking of House, but it's not House. No, you know what House is. Yeah, he's got like a funny walk because he got in. I haven't got to the point where it explains how he got his injury. I'm assuming it will come at some point in the series, but yeah, it's a TV show. I just really like it. It's about this guy who built a machine to spy on people after 9/11, but it was designed to capture terrorists, but it kind of highlights everyone in danger. But the government just forgets about regular people. It's like, no, we haven't got time to save them. I've booked tickets for June 2 and Godzilla. Ooh. I've not caught up on the Kongs yet. I've watched Kong Skull Island, which was alright. The first Godzilla was alright from what I remember. I've not watched any of the others. June 2 I do want to watch. I'm due to see that with my friends. I really enjoyed the first one. It's Thingy Villeneuve, isn't it? And I really like his work. I thought Blade Runner 2049 was amazing. Love that film. Is it Dennis Villeneuve? Is that his name? King of the Monsters, Godzilla. Yeah, I've not seen. Yeah, I've not seen those two. Yeah, his films do have like. I remember the sound when I watched Blade Runner at the cinema. That was flipping epic. Like the whole sort of sound design from that film was amazing. Hans Zimmer, yeah, he's a legend though, isn't he? Old Hans. Yeah, I don't get to see movies at the cinema as much as I want. Last film I saw was Oppenheimer. Yeah, so Oppenheimer and Mission Impossible 7. Mission Impossible 7 was great. I love that franchise. I think it's possibly the most underrated action franchise. I think they're all good, even the second silly one. It is silly as well, the second one, but I still like it. Easily the weakest one, but it's still good. And Oppenheimer was alright. From an acting point of view, sure, you can say from a cinematography point of view, sure, but as a piece of entertainment, I just thought it was okay. Like, it's one of those where people will call it like a technical masterclass, and, you know, I'm inclined to agree that, yeah, sure it is. But I'm a bit more, how can you say, smooth brained when it comes to cinema. I value being entertained over a technical masterclass. I don't know, man. I think he's still kind of getting better with age. I think, like from the 2010s onwards, like there was a time sort of in the noughties where he wasn't as prolific. He wasn't as about as much. Maybe I don't know. I don't remember a lot of his films. But in the early sort of 2010s, like he did Oblivion, Day After Tomorrow, and there's another one that he did. I mean, Minority Report was in 2002. That was great. But those two were absolute bangers, I thought. And that's when he started to kind of, like when Mission Impossible was coming back, like I think the fourth, fifth, and sixth Mission Impossibles are brilliant action films. And I really rated the seventh one as well. I really liked it. I still think number 5 or 6 are my favourite, but I really enjoyed them. And Top Gun Maverick I thought was brilliant as well. I mean, I've kind of fallen out with a few genres over the years. Like I used to really like horror, but I just can't be arsed with it anymore. Like I'm not into jump scares, and most horror films I've seen recently, they've just been shit films. Like the last good horror film I watched was Insidious. I thought that was pretty good. But I think when you've watched it, once you've seen it once, I'm like, okay, I don't need to see this again anymore. Like, you know, when the scares are coming, I'm not particularly creeped out by it anymore. I've only ever seen like a handful of genuinely brilliant horror films. Like the very first Saw film I thought was genuinely a brilliant horror film. I thought The Descent was an excellent horror film. The Thing's my favourite one, but that's probably because it crosses over into sci-fi, which is my favourite genre. I thought The Shining was really good. The Mist was amazing. No, I just as a genre, I don't. Again, I think in the noughties it kind of ruined it for me. I remember when Hostel came out, and like Final Destination, I thought the first one was actually a really cool idea. I quite liked it. But then the second film onwards, it was just how can we kill people in really gruesome ways, and like that's when you got the birth of like Hostel, Wolf, and it was just. And I remember seeing The Wicker Man, the one with Nicolas Cage, and it is still to this day the worst film I've ever seen. Like it is mind-bendingly shit. I remember watching The Strangers as well with Liv Tyler, and I hated that. I think the problem I have with horror as well is that people do things in horror films. I'm thinking, no, you just wouldn't do that. That's not how you would. Like, I can't relate to it because I'm like, but you wouldn't do that. Like, if you saw that or something, then that's not what would happen. Like I had a hard time with Scream on that one. The first one I thought was entertaining. But after that, I just kind of had trouble with it. I'm not convinced that that's what you would really do. Like, I remember seeing was it TikTok? Like there was a guy dressed up as a clown, and it was like a prank where he was scaring people, and he threw like a ball towards someone. And this guy turned around. He looked quite tough. This guy he just turned around, and, like squared down this clown. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do? And I thought, okay. That was the first time I'd seen that. That was quite funny. Yeah, torture porn is exactly what gore porn is what. Yeah, not for me at all. Wrong Turn's another one. That was actually pretty good. But that's because it reminded me of an episode of one of my favourite X-Files episodes called Home, which is basically that. I've not seen any of the sequels of Wrong Turn, but yeah, the first one I thought was pretty decent. Yeah, Human Centipede is a film I will never ever watch, ever. Like, I don't get it. Like, I just... Because it doesn't seem like it would be entertaining or scary, so I'm like, why would I watch this? Why would I watch this absolute nonsense? Oh, I actually thought The Ring was good. I remember seeing that at the cinema. That actually creeped me out a bit. I thought that was good. But again, it's one of those that it didn't need to have like a billion sequels to it. Wreck was actually not bad either. Yeah. But I think that's why I find it hard to relate sometimes. Like, the thing is as well, like, I'm not convinced by the paranormal at all. Like I don't believe in ghosts or psychics, or, you know, I think it's all bullshit. So, like, it doesn't kind of do anything for me. Like, I think you can make interesting films and games and ideas from it. But I suppose it just depends how you do it. Or you have like a cute ghost girl in your home. I vaguely remember the very first scene of Ghost Trip. I remember because it was a really good and really well done scene. It's the one where, is it part of the rigging gets cut, and that rope comes down, and then you see like someone's holding a wine glass and it slips off, and it misses everyone but the little girl, doesn't it? I remember that. I cannot remember a single other thing about that film. And I want to see it. Yeah, that would mess me up. I'm trying to think of other horror films that I've watched. Like I said, The Mist was really good. But again, The Mist kind of falls into sci-fi as well, which is probably why I like it more, because like you, Innie, sci-fi is like one of my favourites. Sci-fi and action are my two favourites. So I think maybe the sci-fi element of that. I remember seeing one called 13 Ghosts and just thinking it was very... just like, I get in there. Like, again, maybe a bit creepy in spots, but just... I've seen The Grudge. That was just a jump scare fest. The Exorcist I thought was alright. Like, I actually completely understand why it was... like, people lost their minds about it at the time. Like, again, I think Alien's one of the best horror films, but again, it's more sort of kind of half sci-fi, half horror. I mean, Predator, could you argue? I mean, that's kind of half action, half teen slasher. I think Red Letter Media described it as. But Predator's just a great film, though. Like, it's not about scary, it's just a damn good film. Like Terminator 1, maybe, has got like elements of horror about it. Yeah, I'm a kind of weird. Like in film, it doesn't bother me, but like you see it more and more now. Like released people kind of chuck videos on Twitter and I think TikTok gets taken down, but real life footage of people getting seriously hurt, I can't hack that. Like I cannot stand seeing it. Like I'm a little bitch when it comes to people getting hurt IRL. I can't watch it. Just standing at a distance is much more worse than a jump scare. Yeah, I kind of know what you mean by that. Like it invokes it like an uneasiness. Like I've kind of learned to see when a lot of jump scares are coming, like the cues, and I find jump scares more annoying than anything. Like there's a great scene in Insidious, but it's one of those that once you've seen it once, it's like that's it. Like you've seen it now, it won't get you again. I've returned. How are you, Q? Did you win? We're just chatting about horror films. Yeah, like I said, there's a great scene in Insidious for that. It's affected your Rocket League form, has it? Like some of the scariest or some of the biggest scenes in films that have crept me out the most have been from non-horror films. Like when I first saw Silence of the Lambs, I was quite young when I saw that, and it's the scene, when Hannibal Lecter kind of lures those two police officers towards him, and he's in the sort of cage in that room, and he strings one of them up, and you just see it's the whole scene of that where you kind of see the silhouette through the door, and then when the cops finally break into the room and it's like that big orchestral music as it zooms out from it, that really got me. That scene proper crapped me out. There's another one as well, like certain scenes that scare you that I don't know if they're designed to. But yeah, Jurassic Park was one where he gets eaten off the toilet. That really scared me as a kid. Jurassic Park, I didn't read your comment then as you said that. Yeah. Yeah, Jurassic Park's actually great for like the raptor scenes, not just that one, the one where I forget his character's name, Sam Jackson's character, where Laura Dern kind of backs, and the hand falls on her, like over her shoulder, and then she turns around, it's just his arm, and it's like, oh my god. Like I was chatting to my son about this, like if there was a real life, like if Jurassic Park was like a real thing, like if there was a theme park, an animal park with dinosaurs in it, would you go? And he was like, nah. I'm like, yeah, no, I wouldn't go either. I think at first Jurassic Park would have probably been to blame, but I just think I've seen too many examples of human incompetence to make me even think of going to a park like that. Yeah. Oh, I couldn't disagree with you more there, Ring. I thought I Am Legend was dog shit. I really didn't. No, not for me. I thought they looked awful, those zombies in I Am Legend. Just wholly unconvincing. It was that period in the noughties, I believe, like me and my mates describe it as a CGI wankfest, where loads and loads of films in the noughties just overused CG. Van Helsing is one of the most guilty examples of this. Which was strange from Van Helsing, because like the sort of practical makeup they used for Frankenstein was actually pretty good, I thought. In fact, it was really good. But they just overdid it. But no, I Am Legend I thought was pony. They're making a second one as well. Yeah. The thing is, only you make a point now. Like certain films when they were released, and you thought the one that does that to me is King Kong, the very first King Kong in 2005. I saw that at the cinema and I thought it was amazing. I thought it looked great. Blah 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 blah. I saw it again a few years later, and it's some of the worst CG ever. Like is it the scene with the insects? And you see that guy get sweat. It just looks god awful. But yeah, King Kong did that to me, where I just thought it was awesome. And I thought it looked great. I mean, Kong himself doesn't look bad. And like I say, it is 2005. And like I say, a product of the time falling into the trap of CGI wankfestery. Just massively. It's like when you discover a new toy or a new technique and you just overuse the shit out of it. That's basically what happened. The Matrix Reloaded. That's the second one. That's another example. The Xbox graphics. Which is, again, a shame, because I thought the choreography for it was good. But just the CG was poo. Like, sometimes it can't be helped. Like, I remember is it the first Harry Potter where there's the troll in the bathroom? I think in that circumstance, I'm like, well, CG was probably your best option there, but when was that? When was the first Harry Potter 2? Was it? It wasn't quite 99, was it? Lord of the Rings was 99, Harry Potter was 2000, 2001. I'm like, yeah, I can't really hold it against them for that. But then some films of that time had still some of the best CG that holds up today. Starship Troopers is the best example of this. 1997, and those CG effects are insanely good. Yeah, to be fair, there are some decent bits in I Am Legend, but I don't know. Just nah. I watched Twister, the one from '96, with my son at the weekend, and again, it's a low-budget film from the '90s, and still really good CG for what it was. Like you can tell, you can see its age a bit, but it's still very, very good. There's a really cool video from a channel called Every Frame a Painting. I'm sure it's Every Frame a Painting. And they do, is it Every Frame a Painting? It might be someone else. In fact, no. It's not. I always think it's that page, but it's not. What's the video called? That's it. Rocket Jump Film School. Why CG sucks, except it doesn't. Yeah, if you type that in YouTube, why CG sucks, except it doesn't. This was made in 2013? 8 years ago. So, oh, well, 2016. Or it was put on YouTube in 2016. And it's a really good explanation as to why CG in films is actually very good. It's just when it's misused. Yeah, that's exact. That I saw the trailer for it. That's what made me want to watch it. Because Twister was the second film I ever saw at the cinema. I was 11, I believe, 10 or 11, and it was so good at the cinema. Like, it was such a good experience. Really, really fun. Like the noise and the sort of atmosphere of it, you were really into it. It was such a great watch, great experience. Like, I've always got a soft spot for kind of disaster movies. Like, even though they're not exactly great films, I still really weirdly enjoy them. Like, a good example of this I use is 2012. That film, basically, Roland Emmerich. It's his kind of thing, isn't it? He did Independence Day, 2012. I think Moonfall was his most recent. Like, Moonfall is a funny one because it's a bit wank, but it's just enjoyable silliness. Like, I don't know what it is about disaster films. It's the equivalent of, like, jangling a set of keys in front of a dog's face. But yeah, I just find them really entertaining. Like, just silly, leave your brain at the door fun. Nice. I bet that was a hell of an experience. I would have loved to have seen Twister in 4D. Yeah, Glenn Powell is in the new Twisters film, and I quite like him. He was in Top Gun Maverick as well. He's been in a few good films. He was in a film called Hidden Figures, which is really good. And the main character actress from Hidden Figures is one of the characters in Person of Interest I'm watching, and I think she's great, and I always forget her flipping name. Taraji P. Henson, that's her name. She's very, very good. And the few things I've seen her in, she's always really good. Still rocking America. Nearly shot my pants. Still a rugged America girl. I'm going to write this in just before I forget. I have to say, I think Monday streams are my favourite. It's just nice and chilled. I really enjoy drawing these. These are my favourite ones to draw. Yeah, I think I'm going to see about doing a book or something. Let's move that back up here. Oh. That was the last one I drew. That, yeah, I've done one like this similar before. Where was it? Oh, I forgot I did that one. I really like that one actually. Actually, wasn't that one? It was. Where is it? Where is it? That one. But there was another one I've done similar to that. I'm sure of it. Guess not. That's not the only one I've done like that, surely, unless I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of this one, aren't I? Yeah, I'm thinking of that. Anyway. Yeah, no worry, Coob. Thank you for always popping in. Like, don't feel obliged if to say if you've got other things to do or you want to do. Do not mind me at all. Yeah, XLB buzzing about on. Because I've got no more original pieces to do, I've now prioritised, like I've got to go to the post office tomorrow to try and find packaging for these things. Because I've finally finished the friggers. I do really want to do another piece like this again. It took ages, but I really enjoyed doing it. So I really want to do another piece like this. It was definitely the most fun I've had. But yeah, I need to package them up. So before I start another original, I want to sell those originals first and sort out prints and the shop and da da la 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 la. So until then, what I might do is I might do a few of these again. So like I'll jump on TikTok and do a few of these. Because like some of these I really like. I really like that one. They were the last two that I did. Try and fill this book, because that's why I got it, a little A6 book. The black and white. Yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed doing this one. Yeah, so I've decided that's going to be £300. That's going to be £225. And that one's going to be 200. So so if I manage to sell these three, that'll be 700. What am I? 700, you div. No, it will be 700. 3, 5, 7, £725. If I can sell them. If. That is a big if. But like I say, I just need one. Just need one to go, and then I can get the cheaper stuff out, and hopefully it'll just roll on and roll on and roll on. That's the plan. And I'll get some of these printed. I'll start off with these ones. I'll print I'll print 5. So 5 prints of 5 different drawings. So that'll be 25 prints. These two, well, maybe not that. This one definitely. I think these two. I really like these two. Probably that one, and I would also say probably this one, although I do very much like this one also. I don't know, there could be 10 of these. Like, these are my favourite. Like, I'd say my best work in here. Yeah, I really like. In fact, no, I'll probably do that one actually. I don't know. I might do 10 of them. Like, I really like this one. I need to do more like this. But yeah. But no, if you guys are up for it, hopefully other people will be too. Maybe use some of the money to upgrade my PC as well. Nothing major. I don't need loads of stuff doing to my PC. My graphics card's still decent enough. Maybe just a bit more RAM. And my CPU could do with an upgrade actually. I was getting a bit tired. I need a new monitor. I've had this monitor for about fucking 15 years. Is it raining by any chance? What, here? No, that noise I think was my PC doing stuff. If that's what you heard. I'm on headphones, I hear all. Apologies for all the times you've heard me break wind. Because we're still rocking America. Oh, I've got ringing in my ears. Oh. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I quite like it. I thought because it's, like I said, I've kind of had a week off. I thought I'll come back and do just sort of a simple idea. I'll detail it a bit. Yeah, just had a chill one today. It's not taking forever. Like I've only been on an hour 40. It feels like I've been on a bit longer than that. Oh. sometimes the simplest ideas are the best. Less is more, as an old tutor used to say. Less is more. I used to absolutely hate that saying, but I kind of understand it now, so I do begrudgingly agree. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. Let's have a look here. Can I do anything more to this? I don't know, I might leave it. No, a couple of bits I think I can do. Oh, that was a bad one. Never mind. I've done it again. Random fact, Baby Shark has 13 billion views on YouTube. Jesus Christ. I remember when it was it that Justin Bieber song, Baby? Yeah, it's number one. It says 14.9 billion, or 14 billion. Wow, it's miles ahead of the next one. So Despacito, I don't know how you pronounce that. Despachico, whatever. 8 billion. Johnny, Yes Papa. That's 6.8 billion. Shit. See You Again, I think, was nearly at number one. That's 6 billion. Gangnam Style. Uptown Funk, yeah. Wheels on the Bus. Crazy Frogs at 4 billion. Who the hell is still watching that piece of shit? Ruined a great 80s tune, that did. Yeah, Baby Shark absolutely crushing it there. Yeah, YouTube is like the go-to for keeping the kids entertained, isn't it? There's 2 baby shark. One's got 14, one's got 3. Yeah, I've still got all the originals of the Turtles. Absolutely legendary show. Okay, I think we're done with this one. That was fun. I enjoyed that. Yeah, oh god, yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's have a look at you. Nice and simple, chilled one. Oh, nothing overly complicated. Remember, it's the same with, was it these two when I came back last after Christmas? No. Oh. Was it those two? I can't remember. No, that one and that one. Yeah, that one was not the most complicated one either. But no, thanks. It's yeah, it's fun to be at. Nearly 2 hours. Well, we're just coming up on 2 hours exactly. Perfect. But that's another one in the bag. Thanks to everyone who popped in. Dead Hand, Dunny, Coob, always good to see you guys. Like I said, I'll be dotted about on TikTok. I'll be carrying on with this little book that I got. Like I said, I'll just jump on for an hour or two here and there, just while I sort out finding packaging for these things. They're going to have to be in boxes because the sleeves are for A sizes as opposed to 9x12. But yeah, when I get that sorted, you know the rest. Like, I'll buy a printer, scanner, get these ones printed off. But yeah, this week will be just trying to sort all that out. So like I said, I'll try and grab a couple of hours just doing this sort of stuff, just so I can, you know, keep drawing whilst I'm sorting packaging for that. But hopefully see you in the week. If not, I'll see you Friday, where I'll be back on here for the Arteza series. But until then, hope to see you in the week. Thanks again. Have a good one, and I'll see you later.